Hey there, superstars. It is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer, and coach from Live, Love, Give. And I'm coming to you. I'm back home after a couple of weeks of traveling all around Melbourne, staying in the city, going to that NLP event, checking out, going down the wineries here in Victoria. It was super, super beautiful. And I'm back here at home, and I wanted to deliver a message that I really wanted to deliver to you guys a few days ago through an experience that I went through that I really wanted to share with you guys. So what better time than now? And what that was all about was I actually went and had a card reading done. So I've never done it before. I've always been kind of like a little bit interested, like, you know, a bit fun, like something to kind of do. And I've known a bunch of different people in my life who have, you know, gone and had card readings done and found it really helpful or interesting or whatever. And I was down staying in a place called Healesville, about an hour away from the city here in Melbourne. And it's kind of a little, you know, it's a cute little country town, and it's got lots of nice things. It's surrounded by beautiful wineries, but it's kind of a little bit quirky, and it kind of felt like a good place to like check out, like, you know, a card reading. And so I ended up doing it, and I want to tell you about my experience and whether you believe in that stuff or not. I'm not really somebody who like is totally black or white or sold in any different direction in particular. I'm pretty grey, you know. It's like, does it serve you? Okay, like who am I to question it? If it doesn't serve you, if it's like limiting you, if it's bringing you down, if it's disempowering you, let's question it, right? So with the card reading, you know, I just kind of thought, why not? I was kind of in a position where I was like, oh, you know, I'm making some shifts and changes in the mission that I'm serving, and you know, kind of working with a coach of mine and, you know, trying to knuckle down like which is that next step that I want to take and who do I want to be working with, and in exactly that way. And it's been a little bit confusing for me because like I love to work with such a variety of human beings that it's been kind of difficult for me to make a decision there. So I thought, I don't know, maybe we'll bring some of that in. I thought, you know, maybe we could, you know, look at some relationship stuff. We could do this, you could do that. I was just kind of going with the flow and just kind of rolling with the punches, you know. And, you know, it was kind of a different experience. There I was kind of sat on the floor, and, you know, there was incense burning, and, you know, it was a fun experience for me. It was very different to what I would normally do. And I just rolled with it. And this beautiful woman, I'm so grateful to have connected with. She does a lot of different modalities of different psychotherapy, counseling, you know, all those more, you know, all those sort of well-known and approved of kind of modalities of helping people heal and transform mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever. But one of her favorite things to do, which she's been doing for 20 years, is these card readings. And so I just thought, well, let's roll with it. And she first of all started with checking my energy centers, my chakras. I don't know how she does it, but I'm going to roll with that. She knew what she was doing, and you know, it didn't disempower me in any way. So because throughout the process, if I had any blockages, that was meant to clear it or whatever. But the main thing that I was there for was the experience, because I really believe, and I hope you guys do as well, in not having an opinion over anything until you've actually had an experience with it. And also staying open-minded, like even if you know, even if it's not true, like it's not a concrete, proven scientific thing that they're giving to you, if it empowers you, you know, there's the whole placebo effect, right? You know, if it empowers you, if it has a positive impact on you, then like, isn't that enough? Like, even if you don't have that, but anyway, each to our own. So that's the mentality that I went in to this card reading with. And she laid out all these cards. She did multiple different readings for me. And it was really interesting without her knowing anything about me, and just her laying out these set of cards, and actually just, you know, there were different positions for different cards, like the past, the present, the future, the conscious, the unconscious, what's coming up, you know, and all these different things that I've that was a first experience for me, so I don't totally know it, but going through that experience, and she was able to talk about the different, say, areas of life, and she was able to talk into sharing a perspective based on the card, the meaning of the card. And like, you are the maker of your experience of the world through the perspective that you have and the meanings that you create. And the cards, laying those out, like whether it's true or not, or wherever that comes from, what they do, if you just take out all the belief in, some, ability to, be channeled through spirit or whatever they do, if you take all of that out and you just literally looked at these cards and the different meanings that they have, and you looked at the situations and the difficulties and the challenges that you're faced with, and you literally just used those to give you a different shift in perspective, to go, okay, like, could, now I'm thinking of this challenge that I have in my life. Do I go this way or do I go that way? And this card represents, trusting your intuition. Does that resonate with me? Is that something that, I can really look at this situation, and would it feel empowering to me if I was going to, trust in my inner intuition, my inner guide, my inner tuition, my inner teacher, and that's a card that kept coming up time and time again for me, which is, they call the High Priestess, and it kept coming up and kept coming up. And then I kept getting also a card which was the Star, which is to kind of step out into your light. And I also kept getting the card the Hermit, which was to forget, what you've known in the past and step forward into, you shining your light. And all these different things were really just helping me to just shift perspectives, because oftentimes when we're just, we've got a challenge and we just keep thinking about it in the own mind sort of programs that we're constantly running, we're not seeing a different perspective. That's why we stay stuck in it. We're not seeing different angles and going about it different ways. So I actually used this card reading as a way to think differently, to think laterally, to think outside the box to my current norm, so that I could overcome the challenge. And a big thing that kept coming up and and throughout all these different readings was, to surrender, to trust in my own self and to surrender to the process instead of trying to control everything and, work it all out. And I had, she said a bunch of different things that just, like I said, whether true or not, like, they really helped me to see just different angles, take different perspectives, and really get to a clear solution in everything that I was thinking about at the time. So, that's why I'm always encouraging you guys to test this stuff out, whatever it is. I've never done a tarot card reading before. It was just kind of a fun thing to do on the fly, that I've always been kind of interested in, just checking out what's it all about. And I'm really grateful that I did, because like I said, it just helped me to shift perspectives. And that's what today's message is all about, because the fact of the matter is, it's your ability to shift perspectives that is the currency to your freedom and your growth. If you can't see a challenge from different perspectives, tackle it from all angles, you're going to stay stuck in the same old patterns, because you're stuck in the same old ways of perceiving and seeing the challenge or seeing the world. That's why it's really handy to have different people in your life who like and trust, who think differently to you, who can share different perspectives from the way they see the world. But, I'm a big believer in, having some sort of strategy for you to be that own perspective shifter, because oftentimes everybody wants to give you their opinion on your problem, right? And it's always based on their own experience of the world. And sometimes that's really valuable, but I don't know about you, but I've in the past, gone to way too many people to really get that perspective, and then you just get even more confused, right? That's why you want to make sure that, you've kind of filtered out the people that you're not really wanting their advice, and you're looking to the people who maybe have the kind of life or the way of being in the world that you really, aspire to be more like, and trusting their path and their perspective. That might be really valuable. But also, don't forget to trust yourself. Don't forget the power that you have within to actually question the same scenarios and tackle it from different angles. And, maybe the cards or whatever might be a good way for you to be able to do it. I personally just ordered myself some of these cards because I thought, what an awesome way, if I've got a challenge, to just kind of test it out with some different perspectives. Like, let's put out this card. What is the meaning of this card? How does it relate to this current scenario or challenge or whatever? And what can I glean from that? You can take the whole, I spiritually connected to this card and that's why it came out and that this is the meaning. You might just take it from, more of a, stepping out and looking at the situation from all these different angles perspective, right? So I think that that's really empowering, at least for me. I don't know if it's interesting for you guys, but I definitely hope that today's message will get you thinking on a couple of different fronts. Number one, if you've got the same old challenges happening, maybe it's time for a shift in perspective. Whether that is seeking guidance from people that you know, like, and trust around you. Maybe go in and get a crazy card reading like I did. Maybe go and see a coach who specializes in different modalities of decision making, or whatever they're trained in. You can go to some awesome people, but at the end of the day, I like to find those strategies that bring up those answers from within, because at the end of the day, I really do believe that we always have the answers within us. It's just that we're not trusting ourselves. We're not trusting that inner wisdom, right? We're discounting it, and we're over trusting and over relying on external sources. So I think this is a fun strategy. I hope you might give it a go. And definitely, if you forget all else, make sure that you realize that your perspectives is your perspective, and ability to shift perspective is your most valuable resource throughout life. Your ability to shift that perspective to something that empowers you, that something that enlightens you, to something that grows you. There isn't anything more valuable than that, and money can't buy it. Unless you go and do a course on really educating yourself on shifting perspectives, which is a big part of the work that I do. So I hope that this is of value to you guys. I definitely want to check in with you guys. Make sure you're dropping me a comment, say hi, check in with me, let me know where you're tuning in from. Have you had any experience with these card readings? Or what's your favorite way to shift perspectives and really, kind of go to war with the challenges that you're confronted with? Share away. I always love hearing from you guys, and it's super valuable to everybody in our amazing community. And if you guys aren't currently part of the Limitless Potential Academy monthly masterclasses, please do join us. The link is up above. You get instant access to a library filled with amazing, all the best value in terms of the masterclasses to transform your life, to become your best self, to stop settling in life, to discover who you are, what you want, have the courage to go after it. There isn't anything more important than your self-awareness and the action that you take to implement a life that you design rather than live by default. And that's what the masterclasses are all about, reaching your highest potential. And let me check in with you guys and say hi. So I've got Ellen and Gabrielle and Frank and Shane and Vivek. Hello to you. Great to see you. Love it. And Shane's here as well. Great to see you. And Ram, hello to you. And Gulshan and Lucky and Grant and Muli and Chris and Tayeb and Gabrielle. Greetings are so very intriguing. Absolutely. My mind was like, whoa, yes, I love this. Just to get those different perspectives and different ways of thinking about things. I was having so many ahas, and it wasn't because I was fully devoted to, the fact that she was spiritually channeling anything. It was really just, her insights and ability to see different angles and express different ways of looking at life and the situations that we're faced with. And I was soaking it all up like a sponge, right? And it was so valuable to me. And I got so many different perspectives and lessons and new pathways for growth, you know, that, that had nothing to do with anything that puts some people off. So I'm not really put off by anything, really. I'm very open-minded because I love change. I love variety, because I equate it to personal growth, which equates for me to personal freedom and fulfillment. So yeah, I love that, Gabrielle. I love you've had that experience. And Nathan's here as well. And Jared, hey Vanessa, hope you're going well. I absolutely am. Yes, one of my good friends is a psychic who gives me regular card readings. So cool. I love that you've got that a special person in your life there, Jared. Awesome to hear and see you. And Emma's here as well, and Josie and David and John Dave. Please greet John Dave. We're watching. I love it. Great to have you, John Dave. And John here as well, and Filippo. Awesome to see all of you guys. I absolutely love it when you get to catch me live, and I really hope that me talking into this experience of this card reading is of value to you guys, and definitely, if all else fails, that you realize that your perspectives is your greatest resource for living a truly free and fulfilling life. Ability to shift perspectives, find the empowering pathway out of your challenges, and definitely that's what creates your experience of life. Whatever you're perceiving is what you're ultimately experiencing. So, and Judy's here as well. So awesome to see all of you guys. I hope that this message has served you. And as always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and that today's message has resonated, given you some valuable takeaways, got you thinking about whatever challenge you're faced with right now or whatever transition you're going through. And I hope that you will join us in the Limitless Potential monthly masterclasses. Next one coming up in like a couple of weeks. So can't wait to see you guys there, and to dive into a new layer of growth for you. So sending you guys all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Much love.